When we're doing the fight camp, what I like to do with Tim is over the course of like 8 weeks is together work on a game plan. So it's not just me kind of telling him what to do. It's about like finding a few techniques that are going to work against this particular opponent after watching his video, breaking it down, watching Tim's fights, seeing what Tim does well, what's his go-to techniques. And then in the sparring over the course of a few weeks, we kind of figure it out together. Like Tim tells me what he thinks is working. Obviously, I'm watching it all the while and can give him a reinforcement if he thinks something's working or not working. You know, he asked me, when was it? Yeah, it was today, weren't it? That he's got a little query on one of his punches. He was saying, is that working for me? And I says to him, you know, let's watch it on a video together. So we watched it on a video together, and that gave us the proof. So I'm all about evidence. You know, everyone sometimes can have a theory like what's the classic, like, oh, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. I'll be like, okay, let me watch the tape. When his hands are down, is he getting hit? No. Is he landing shots from that position? Yes. Then there's not evidence to suggest me that I have to tell him otherwise. And that's kind of how we've treated all the training sessions, really. So today, what we've done in particular was focus on some defensive aspects. I think I told you the other day about the pad work with Fabian. Most of the pad work, if you're doing a combination, it's not specific to the fight, because in the fight, the guy's not just going to give you the opening for that combination. So unless you're practicing it just for conditioning, so like you'll see Tim on the bag, hitting the bag to get your shins a bit conditioned. The same with pads. You want to hit the pads because the pads is going to give you that conditioning. It's going to make you fitter. Having a specific combination that you might use in a fight is beneficial. But at the same time, it's about how can we get there? How can we work a guy into the position to get that particular technique off, or what's he giving us? And realistically, mate, MMA, it's like no more than 2 or 3 punches at a time, really, is it?
Yeah, before you hit each other and it becomes a wrestle or a clinch. And yeah, well, one of the things that Nate does really well, which I invest in and appreciate, is he'll come and he'll watch the sparring throughout the whole camp and film it with yourself and stuff. So now we get to practice in our striking sessions what we want to do. We get to then plan it, then we get to execute in sparring and then we can study it and see what's working, what's not. So that's really invaluable. You know.
What camp was it where we had a bit of a plan? I can't remember which fight it was, but we had a bit of a plan, and then it just drastically changed throughout the weeks because we were like, that's not working that well, but then this is working. I think it was when you were sparring Arnold Allen. So Tim was doing sparring with Arnold Allen, and it got to the point where it was really competitive. And then we found out Faraz Harbi from the TriStar gym, George St. Pierre's coach, really famous coach, he was remotely coaching Arnold. So he was watching Arnold spar Tim and then come up with little game plans for Arnold to use against Tim. So then we were like, right, we'll do the same thing, innit?
Yeah, we counted it and then come back with our counter to what his counters were.
And then it started working.
At the end of the day, that kind of coaching and time is priceless. It's that's what levels up myself, but the team, it levels up Nath as a coach, and it really works well. So yeah, it'd be all good to pay X amount of pounds to come in and smash pads for an hour, but I know I'm levelling up each week, each fight camp, out of camp, we keep fit, we keep on it, we work on areas where we feel maybe we can make improvements. So yeah, we've got a good system, it works really well.
I think one thing I was saying before as well is the higher the level the athlete, the kind of less time you need to spend on focusing on individual components. So Tim's a really experienced striker. He's obviously, got all this years in karate, obviously mixed martial arts. There's no point me coming in and adjusting his roundhouse kick or adjusting his jab too much. He's got enough tools in the box to get through 98% of fights without really having to do too much. So rather than spending time on individual things like that, it's about the bigger picture. How can we get off Tim's A game? And that was the funny thing with that Arnold Allen spar. We came up with a little technique between ourselves. We're not going to give it away. But there was a footwork pattern that we found that was working against Arnold. And he couldn't figure it out. And as the weeks went by, Tim kept pulling it off. And then he pulled it off in the fight. And that's when we was like, we've got a good little system here. Because he was improving within the camps, not just for that particular fight, but his overall game. At the age of, what are you now, Tim?
I feel about 52, but I'm 36 years young,
old,
mate.
Gold and dangerous.
Gold and dangerous.
Yeah, man. Good work, mate. Solid.